Rise and shine, y'all. We are your morning commute crew, Vaughn Lee and Justice Greg. Good morning. Today, I am very, very excited. We got some very special guests on the line. I had the privilege, pleasure, and opportunity to visit a film that I had no idea what it was going to be when I visited when they were in production over a year ago. But now the film is out, and me and Justice are joined by some of the amazing cast members / writers and producers of the show. So let's welcome to the show the cast / the crew of Love You Right. We've got Miss Christina Faith, Miss Malaya Gregory, Mr. Don Cephas, and Mr. Marquise Valdez. How are y'all?
Doing good.
We're doing
Good.
great. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you for being here. But so for the people that don't know, any one of y'all can take this. What is Love You Right? What is this film about? Christina, you wanna, or anybody?
I was gonna throw it to Marquise.
Okay.
Yeah, so Love You Right basically knows the R&B joint. We like it is on the title. It's about this artist Will Clay, and like he has to really evaluate himself. He has to just dig and see, like, because he's grown up being this one-dimensional thing, and so he kind of has to confront all of these different things that's going on in his life, whether his family, his friends, and just see, like, what's the other parts of him, who he truly is as a person, and really get to discover that while he's in the spotlight. And so, like, that's kind of like the biggest thing for him is, like, how do you discover yourself while you're in the spotlight, and then who can you trust in those moments? And so we kind of get to see that journey. And yeah, it's a dope love story. It's crazy. It's some crazy twists and turns in there too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm excited because, like, not so much, well, I'm excited, but just I enjoyed the film so much for, like, the realism in the film. There was a lot of, like you said, trials and tribulations, I guess is the term, that I don't know if you don't see it anymore just because today's generation of artists is very different than the way you portrayed Will in the film. But it was really, really refreshing to see, like, okay, these are normal things that, whether it's today's SoundCloud rappers or just a real R&B artists go through, So,
yeah. I'm not a big a musical guy, to be honest, but this film definitely it pleasantly surprised me. I think it was shot well, and also how well you painted that, like, story, kind of like as Vaughn said, all the trials and tribulations. How it really is to be famous. But I know this film was supposed to come out last year in 2020. So how has COVID affected you guys in just the process of putting out this film?
So COVID affected us that we couldn't put it out. And so we had planned to do more of a guerrilla theatrical run. And we were just going to put it in theaters ourselves, take the money from one theater, move it to the next. And so that really, and we try to do a festival circuit. So that really changed a lot. I think we put about $1,000 into festival submissions and really just trying to push it. And it really, COVID impacted the festivals because they really didn't take a whole lot because of it. Their schedules were shorter. And so we got into the Hip Hop Film Festival as well as San Francisco Black Film Festival. And then it was over, like nothing else happened. So we were kind of like sitting on the film for a little bit. And then because of George Floyd, I got connected with this diversity and inclusion initiative called Start With 8. And at Start With 8, I was able to connect with mentors, specifically distribution mentors who walked me through the process of what it would be like for me to negotiate my own distribution and figure that whole system out. Because normally you go to a film festival and distribution connects are there. And so we no longer had that. And so it was a gift and a curse in a sense. A gift in that we were able to use the opportunity to pivot. And it was bad in a sense that we didn't get, we're doing, press from home. So this feels very different than what we would desire and, appreciate. We're doing our premiere from home tomorrow. And so we won't be able to be together with everyone that we normally would when we do a release and physically see all the people, but it's been really cool just to bring joy. Like you guys said, like, it's a pleasant surprise. That's something that everyone has been saying recently. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like a pleasant surprise. Like, people really thought the film was going to be trash, is honestly what it was. Like, everyone's like, oh, it might be like a 4.5. I think for indie Black films, we don't normally see a caliber of film like this, specifically around the musical situation. And so it based off of like I think the cover and things like that, people expect one thing and then they like, oh, it's a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't think the film was gonna be trash per se, but like when I think of musical, I think of like music throughout the whole movie. I think that the
Yeah.
songs you chose and like
You
where the
just
songs were
you
fit
just
well.
break out in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
like
it wasn't
yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not no Black
Yeah.
High School Musical.
No, we intentionally. I think me and Marquise, we talked about that. We wanted the music to be really pedestrian.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Do you feel like the role? I mean, you have at the time we're recording this because this is airing Monday morning, but at the time we're recording this, you have the virtual watch party, which I will be at tomorrow. But
Okay.
so far, do you feel like doing everything because of COVID is better than, or have you, I guess, adapted and gotten comfortable with it, or do you just still prefer like, no, I want to be in the theaters, I want to be in person?
I don't know.
Like
Anybody
at
else?
this point, we've adapted. We
Yeah.
have no choice but to, you know. So I'm not mad at it. I'm actually not mad at it at all.
Yeah, I'm not mad in the sense like normally you'd be running around doing everything. Like
Yeah.
I have one set up at home and I'm
Mhm.
changing shirts and you come back to it. I think it was cool. Like Don is in another state now and Mark is in another state and Mason and Leah are in another state. So I think it made things a little bit more accessible for us in a sense.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely get that. And Mark's in LA. Yeah, Mark's in LA. I had the opportunity to speaking to Mark Jesus, that was almost a year ago. In like May, I did an interview with him.
When we
so,
thought the film was gonna come out.
yeah, that's why I did the interview. I was like, hey, it's about to come out, and then COVID. I was just like, all right, well, I was like, we're still gonna talk, man. Now, all of you guys, you have a connection. You're all Marquise, Malay, and Don. You're all stars of Single and Anxious, which is you wrote it or you created it, Christina?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I did create it. It was a writer's room though. It's a lot of different writers that were a part of it though.
Okay. But I know, Marquise, you didn't initially start in acting. I heard that wasn't initially your path. Talk to me about like what was going on and how you got to acting and where you are now.
I actually just kind of started off as like a model. I was just like one of the model boys, just like shirtless on Instagram, out here straight flexing, but
smart man.
Look, you gotta use what you got, sometimes. And after that, I kind of some people was like, oh, you should do some music videos or whatever. I was like, cool, I'll do that. And then one thing led to another, and then I ended up in like web series, and then I met Christina, and then I was on Single and Anxious as Malia's boo / side boo piece or whatever type of thing. And just like all of these steps kind of led me to being right here. And then I end up in a writer's room with Christina, and we like, yo, we about to write a movie. And I'm just like, okay, I did not think I was going to do this maybe 10 years ago, but okay, dope, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think me and Marquise hooked up because, I always ask people like, do you have a script? And Marquise was like, I have something. And so I asked people and no one ever wants to like bring their script forward. I'm like, no, we can make it. And so Marquise was like, I have this thing called Plan B. And so me and him worked really well, reshaping and molding the script that he made. And that film actually, it'll come out, I think, next month. It's actually done. It did a festival circuit already, but I wanted to clean up the audio a little bit. Marquise was just easy to work with. Like these guys are really easy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's more of a family than anything.
Right.
Yeah, I can tell you guys work well. You have good chemistry. I think that all of you guys really played your characters very well. Don, your character in particular was my favorite until like he showed his true intentions. Maul too.
Man.
Maul was about that action like throughout the whole movie. But how would you guys compare your characters in the film to like yourselves in real life?
I'm nothing like Ronnie in real life. Ronnie is obnoxious, cocky, and he's a jog rider for real. I have a confidence to me, but I'm more chill, and I'm a supporter. I love supporting other people, and like really believe in other people, even if I'm not really a part of it. But like me and Riley, night and day. Honestly, I was just talking to somebody last night. I said it was funny because my first day on set, Christina and Marquise had to pull me to the side. It was like, yo, you too cool, right? Because it was hard to shake off Sebastian, right? Because I'm more closer to Sebastian than Ronnie. And so they was like, yo, you opening up something. So, they directed me, and Christina really, like, she was sending me stuff, even Offset, like, yo, I want you to listen to this, because she wanted me to like be uncomfortable. That was the only way Ronnie could really come alive. And so that's why y'all got that character the way that y'all did, because they was like, yo, you gotta open it up more. So yeah, that was a little bit uncomfortable for me, but it was fun.
Yeah. What about you,
You did
Malaya?
an amazing job. Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very, very good. I would say for me, me and Sade were similar in certain aspects, but I feel like Sade in certain situations is much bolder than I am. Certain decisions and things I probably wouldn't do in real life. But for the most part, Sade is that ride or die friend, and
Yeah, she definitely was.
take her friendship seriously. So like, if you hurt her friend, it's like you're hurting her, and I'm very similar to that. So I would say we're similar in that aspect. But as far as like, if I don't have a male best friend, but if I were to have a male best friend, I couldn't see myself taking it there.
Yeah, dealing with his crazy fiance.
Yeah, I
Would have clipped it real quick.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
I think I'm nothing really like Maul, but Maul is like my brothers. Maul is my cousins. Like, that's how, like, everybody who I'm around, they just ready to go. They just be on some other type time, just ready, just lit. Just want to start something, want to fight, like, just ready for, yo, you got a problem with bull? Like, oh, we can solve. Like, that's my cousins, those my brothers all day. So I see that all the time. I'm just like, yo, like, I gotta put them on. If I can't put them on, I gotta put them on, So that was real fun to kind of just like play around with that character and just see what I can do with that.
Don kind of touched on his already, but I want to hear from Malaya and Marquise too. How did compared to your characters in Single and Anxious, what are the similarities between those characters and you guys?
I'll probably say,
ooh, that's a tough one.
I don't really think there's much similarities between my character and Single and Anxious in the character.
So you're just neither of your characters. You're just there's Marquise, there's Don, there's Marquise, there's Rodney.
I think Kamal and Marquise are probably more similar in the just Marquise is about it. Like, he's not gonna pick no bad up, but he gonna ride with you. But he's also very funny and just random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Carissa and Sade, I never even thought about that one.
Which one do you like to play more?
Sade.
Sade? Okay.
I prefer Sade. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Christina. What do you think about that one? Because I don't know. I've never even thought about Sade and Carissa before. I don't know. That was a good question. You got me there.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the characters. So I think the characters may model themselves a little bit similarly as far as. No, they're like completely different. No, they're different. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't want to be friends with Carissa. I would want to be friends with Sade.
Facts.
Okay.
Sade was about that action too.
Yeah,
especially at the end.
Yeah,
there was a couple of scenes. Yeah. It was the end when it was in the studio. It was
Carissa's too selfish, right?
I had to think about that. I would be friends with Sade more.
I think. Yeah, I'm not Carissa. That's why Maya had so many issues with Carissa. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carissa. She was. Yeah, she. Yeah.
I haven't seen Single and Anxious, so that's what I was asking. And I always love to ask actors, like, which one was easier, which one was more relatable, because it's just, as an actor, and I'm trying to dive into acting, but one thing I've noticed is that, like, you take different pieces of yourself, try to put them in the characters, but also sometimes it's not possible. So, but in the movie, there's Will, who's played by the amazing Mark J.P. Hood. He went through a lot of hardships, between infidelity, relationship struggles, unhappiness within himself.
Everything.
Yeah. And not to mention, like, the perception and pressures that he faced as a public figure. Like, do you feel like the film realistically portrayed what it's like to be a celebrity in today's world?
I mean, in a certain sense, I think it does, but also I feel like sometimes celebrities just don't care about any scandal. I think they may look at scandal and be like, I don't gotta change my life for anything, you know, like, oh, I got caught cheating. Cool, that's even more. Like, I think like maybe Mark's character in the film may just be a little bit more sensitive than today's celebrity.
Yeah.
But I think that he was kind of modeled after like a more mature type of person, or somebody who has a background to where like your character kind of really means something to you, you know?
Word.
Yeah, so we tried to pull from older inspirations. We pulled from Prince, Michael Jackson, and Marvin Gaye for that character a little bit more. But at the same time, we also pulled from current today's celebrities. And so I think the difference between Will Clay's character and other celebrities that we may see is that Will had a stronger support system than others. Than most people traditionally do. He didn't have a whole lot of, well, he had yes men and women, but he also had people who were very honest with him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like some celebrities definitely don't have that.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I felt like when I watched it, I was watching something. It was supposed to take place like back in the day, because you don't see that with a lot of celebrities now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the people close to him is the reason why, he didn't take that, like.
But he was so grounded. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't turn like all the way left. I feel like he was getting there, but he didn't take that turn.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the idea of the movie, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I would say think of like an Usher, right? Because we wanted to say we took from the idea of what celebrities used to be and mixed it with current day, right? So I think Usher has people in his life that are very honest to him, right? And so, but he also has some yes men. And so I think it's, a celebrity, regardless, has to decide who they're going to listen to and if they're going to follow their own desires.
Mm-hmm.
All right, get away.
As far as the idea of the movie, Marquise, I know you were a writer and producer. Where did the idea of this film come from? Because I know we don't, like Mont mentioned earlier, we don't see a lot of like down to earth films like this.
Well, actually, like Chris hit me up one day. I think her and Malaya, they were at a film festival, and she hit me up and was like, "Yo, I got this dope idea." And so we were kind of just thinking about like, what does it mean to like, I don't know, like really like transform your life, and what does it mean to kind of like reshape who you are? And so we came up with all these ideas. We sat down. We even had another writer, and we just was like trying to flesh out ideas. We even had a whole script, and remember, Chris, and we kind of like scrapped it like halfway through.
Like, this ain't it.
Yeah, it was like nah. But then we came up with this idea of just like let's do a musical. Like, and I think it was even Chris's idea because she does come from a musical background, and so like I think like when we figured that was like, yo, like there hasn't been anything like this in a long time, and like just to really like show people that like, yo, everybody's human, everybody goes through these trials and tribulations, and that like you can like you don't like I don't know, it's like really hard to like put it in words, but like everybody can just grow from these situations, and don't like make people to just be out like these static things. Like everybody's not static, everybody's not one dimensional, and that you can grow, and that you need to have like the people around you to really help you reach those levels. And you can't just have people that's just gonna like leave you in the wind whenever everything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I like what you said about like you said, Christina comes from a musical background, because a musical, and kind of like Justice said, is just not something that we see nowadays, especially with Black people. I don't remember what's the last thing that we've seen Black people do like of the nature to?
No, not of this nature.
Yeah.
I was like Jingle Jangle. That was Christmas.
I haven't watched it. Is it good?
Yeah, me neither.
I have to revisit.
It's very entertaining. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
I think you should watch it around Christmas time. I don't think it's a movie that you should just watch randomly. But it's a great movie.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of who was in it? Felicia Rashad. There was a lot of legends in there.
Yeah. Netflix rolled the bag out for them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Christina, you it's funny because I've heard you mention that this person is one of your idols when it comes to filmmaking, but I'm just looking at you and I just feel Ava DuVernay. I'm just looking at you, and I'm
No.
channeling Ava DuVernay. And I know Ava is one of the
It's because
people
I'm
that
light
you,
skinned with locks. I had locks long before I knew of Ava, though.
yeah, and Ava's killing it. And I
Yeah.
see you and her, but I just want to know also, like, who else do you look at when it comes to, like, okay, like, filmmaking? What story should I tell, or what path should I follow? Who else do you follow?
So I follow Darnell Martin, who is a female filmmaker. She wrote a movie and directed a movie called I Like It Like That, which came out in the early 90s. It came out alongside of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. And they have very similar styles. And so I pull from Spike, I pull from Martin, Scorsese, and I take different things from everybody. You know, Darnell Martin told very authentic, raw stories. Spike Lee, his camera work and just his use of color and using the same people over and over. Martin Scorsese, he's been filmmaking since he was a kid, and he uses the same people over and over. Ava DuVernay, her desire just to make films that she loves and bring people up. Yeah, and so I think, you know, for me, I make the films, and this is something that I'm really trying to be consistent in, is I want to make films that I like and that I want to put out in the world. I don't want to make something that somebody else will make, right? And so I tend to make films that people don't necessarily think about. Like, nobody thought about A Single Anxious. Like, that's still not something that you'll really see, is the mixing of crime, love, and lies together like that on a younger level, as opposed to, you know, not being older. Love You Right is just, you know, I wanted to tell a story that brought some kind of hope, but also brought love and brought in music and brought in Black talent. And so, yeah, I love Ava DuVernay. I watch Ava's every move, right? But I also watch everybody's every move. I'm on Deadline, Hollywood Report, and everything, just trying to figure out, okay, what is the industry liking and what is it missing?
Right. Malay, I want to ask you, there was a scene in the closer towards the end of the film where you told Will, Sharday told Will that he has to love himself, right? And then obviously in the end when he's back on the talk show, that's like the overall message of the story. What does that mean? Love you right. Is there nuance to that? Like, because I don't understand how you love yourself or someone right.
Well, I think it ultimately is, before loving anybody, whether it be any type of relationship, you have to love you right, and that's in a physical way, that's emotionally, and that's for sure mentally, before you can transfer that love onto someone else. So that's pretty much what it means. And
I guess, is that all the overall, I guess, like the through line of the story? Will towards the end figures out, like, okay, before I have this fame, money, fortune, let me remember Sharday and my closest friends, and then my parents, and, you know, he went back to his parents at the end. Is that kind of
that's pretty much what it is? Another part of that is, you know, self-care. You know, he had to really think about what he was doing and how he was treating himself and stretching himself thin and trying to please everybody else before, you know, putting their needs before his, pretty much. Yeah.
As far as the music used in the film, what was the process like choosing and making the music? Did you make the music based off like the theme of like the film or the script, or did the music come first?
The script came first. Me and Marquise wrote the script, and then Crystal Typewriter Oliver, who's a really good friend of mine, who's a writer. Before we even started, I texted her and I was like, "Hey, I'm writing a musical. Can you do the music?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course, I got you." And so the first round of songs, she sent me some stuff, and I was like, "Yeah, no, this isn't it." The only song from the first round that stayed was Sign. And that's actually written by Alan Bowser and Scotty Cash. They were the ones that wrote that. And then Crystal came over, and, you know, I made her a salad. We sat down, and I went through the script, and I need a song called Ain't Just Sex, right? I need a song that closes it out, Love You Right. I need a duet right here that's, you know, I don't even know if I said All Over Me. And so we wrote the script, and then I went through the script to figure out where we needed the songs and how the songs could be transitions. She then got Ivan embarrassed to do production, and then he sold 3 of the songs. And so we had to get someone to come in and reproduce them and make them even better, which is very hard because Ivan is a Grammy-nominated producer, and so after you hear a song a certain way and you have to change it, it's very hard to switch over. And so Christopher Michael Stevens came in and he murdered the production on it. And Robin Keith, he was really instrumental in A&R in it and helping us get the sound that we wanted after Ivan had created the initial sound.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think that you guys did a really good job, like choosing the songs, because at some points it didn't even feel like a musical. I think it came really natural, and that's what I like. Mm-hmm. As far as Don and Malaya, what are some other projects that you guys hope to work on?
Can you, because I haven't seen Single and Anxious. Can you just give me the plot line of Single and Anxious? Because I want to. Are they similar to?
We're
is it
never
similar
gonna
to
be able to get away from this show.
I want to. I've heard such great things about it.
Yeah, they are not similar at all.
No, okay, so
Don or Malaya, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Single and Anxious is more so about college kids and kind of navigating through that life, that world. Mm-hmm. You have crime and like drama and the love intertwined in that. So it's a little different from Love You Right, because it's a lot of different from Love You Right. Yeah,
a little bit more gritty.
It's a totally different world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've done those two different fields. So yeah, where else do both of you see like you guys going next, or what do you I want to say hope to see you guys do venturing in next?
I don't know.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I would like to possibly do some action stuff because it's totally different from me. And the reason why I want to do it is because it's just different. I don't know. It's just different. It would be different.
Want to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. And that's the reason why I want to do it. Action, and right now I'm gonna stick with the action.
Okay.
There's a lot of that going on because they got what's coming out or what's out already. Is it Batgirl? Not Batgirl. Catwoman.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have Black Lightning, and so I feel like that's an ongoing theme. So I would love to do something like that myself. So.
I mean, aside from Single and Anxious season 4, I just got to take a dig at Christina.
that keeps coming up in press runs.
I would like to do either like a psychological thriller, because that's actually my favorite genre of films.
I'm in the same boat with you, brother.
Yeah, I love them. I just got finished watching The Little Things 2 weeks ago. And Jared Leto, man, he's one of my favorite actors. He literally smashed.
He killed that.
He smashed that thing, man. He out-acted both of them. And not a lot of people out-act Denzel. And Denzel even acknowledged that too. Like, he's like, yo, they was killing that thing. But yeah, it's mainly a psychological thriller, and probably what Malaya said too, like an action. Yeah. The psych thriller at the top, definitely.
Right. Yeah, I would love to see both of you in those. And I again, this film was beyond phenomenal. I can't wait to see it win 20,000 more awards. Like I said, tomorrow, well, when you guys are listening to this, it will have happened. So it was great. But I will be at the watch party with you guys tomorrow. Thank y'all for the opportunity. Y'all can go check out Love You Right. It is available for purchase anywhere you buy films. You can check it out there. I highly, highly, highly suggest y'all go watch it. Grab some popcorn and get ready to sing too, because some of these songs they get stuck in your head for real. Yeah. Once again, thank you, Christina, Malaya, Don, Marquise. Thank y'all for joining us. All right, we got more Morning Commute on the way.
Thank you so much for having us.
Happy Monday.